Okay, so as we get into this idea of master studies, there's some things that I want you to kind of be aware of. So I talked a little bit how we have modern artists that we choose from, and we have more of the classical artists that we choose from. And I want to kind of walk you through my decisions and then why I chose them. Now, you don't have to choose as many as I did, but there's a lot of benefit to having kind of a pool of artists to draw from. So, as I am thinking about master studies, who are the people that I want to be more like? What do I want to learn from them? So, I'm also coming from this with a focus of being an illustrator or a concept artist. So, I want to think about, like, obviously, if I want to be a concept artist, I'm not going to go study someone who did portraits, but I might. It depends. Like, it all depends on why I want to learn from them. So I have specific goals in mind. I want to create movement in my artworks. I want to have cohesive colors, dramatic lighting, creature design, strong storytelling. So let me just zoom in here for a moment. So Aaron Blaise is probably the first teacher that I really started learning from. And I've taken a lot of his courses from his website. I love his creature design, the dramatic lighting, the storytelling, because he did work for Disney. So even though he worked more in the animation industry, there's still aspects of his artwork that I love, that I want to incorporate, that I feel like fits within like an illustration kind of career path. William Bogoro, I've discussed this a little bit in just, I love how cohesive his colors are, how he does figures, and rendering, especially like the skin textures is really what got me. So if I'm going to be a concept artist and doing characters, obviously a lot of those characters are going to be more human based. So having William Bogoro and have just kind of cherry picking some things there with his color and his figures and like the skin rendering, that can be very helpful. Terrell Whitlatch, a pretty straightforward and obvious choice here, just because she is a very, very talented creature designer, concept artist, and I really love her rendering and how she uses a lot of alcohol markers and ink. Frederick Remington, so a classical artist here, but I love the way he does lighting for night environments and just environment in general, and then color choices in here. So another one that I want to pull from. Hardy Fowler, another very obvious choice with a concept artist, creature designer. I do love his, he's got some good storytelling aspects in this to where you really get a sense of feeling from the characters and the environment and how they all go together. Marco Bucci, I love his stuff. Like, I love his character design and the way his pieces tell a story, a very clear story. And I also love his rendering and how he has a very rough, painterly kind of style. Claude Lorraine, classical painter, and great way to look at like realistic backgrounds and scenery, environment design. So I may not pull as much from him, so you can see I've only selected 3 artworks, but still something to learn from him. Norman Rockwell, I love his expressions, the storytelling, environment, lots of things to pull from this. So I have just kind of a bird's eye view of what I want to accomplish. And as we've talked about master studies and how this is to help you develop your style. Now, obviously, all of these artists have kind of their own unique style, right? But what happens if you take all of these artists, you take little pieces from each one and you combine them all together? What does that look like? And that's basically what I'm trying to accomplish. Now, you don't have to go as in-depth as I did, but think about who you're choosing for your master studies, why you want to learn from them, and what pieces of their artworks do you want to draw from that can be input into your own artwork for your specific career focus. So get thinking about this and start looking at some different forms of inspiration.